welcome back to my channel. My name is Devyn, and today I'll be showing you guys a freezer meal prep with me video. So I am currently pregnant, expecting my first little baby boy, and I wanted to make my life easier by preparing some meals to keep in the freezer so that way when I come home with our baby, that I do not have to do some cooking for a good amount of time. So I already filmed one of these for breakfasts. I did 4 different recipes, so if you haven't watched that, I'll link it down below. Make sure to watch that because it turned out so great. So I basically just have a ton of recipes. I'm splitting this up into 2 videos because there are so much, but I have my freezer stacked. I'm gonna be filming a little tour of my freezer for you guys at the end of this because I'm gonna be doing breakfast and then 2 lunch/dinner ones and then a little tour. So this is the second one. So I have a ton of awesome recipes for you guys. I'll make sure to link all the recipes down below for your convenience. And I show you guys all the step-by-step and how I prepared it and packaged it and all that good stuff. So hope it gives you some ideas as well. You can do this if you're also expecting and want to make your life easier, or maybe you just want to prepare some stuff so that you don't have to cook for your family all the time, or maybe you're wanting to give some people some freezer meals and gift that to them for their baby. So either way, I'm hoping this gives you guys some ideas. So if you guys want to see all the yummy meals that I'm making, then just keep watching.
Okay, so we're starting off with honey chipotle chicken. This was so yummy. You're gonna get an onion and go ahead and get that all diced up and pop that into the crock pot. Again, for this video, we are doing all crock pot meals. Then I'm taking this package of organic chicken, boneless, skinless chicken breasts from Costco. Then I'm taking this can of tomato sauce, pouring that in, taking some organic raw honey, and I'll have all the measurements in my description box. I then take a lime and go ahead and squeeze the juice of that in there. You can of course use like pre-juiced lime as well, but I always like fresh lime juice. Then I'm taking some garlic powder, good amount in there, as well as some salt and some pepper. And then we're going to take a can of Chipotles. They're like chilies and adobo sauce, I think. I'm just going to take a couple of those out, dice those up. I think you can get them diced as well, but these were just whole, so I diced them, popped them into the crock pot, as well as a little bit of the juice from the can for some more flavor. Added some water and mixed that all together. And then you're going to go ahead and make sure you get the top secured, and you're going to cook it for 4 hours on high. Now that's 4 hours later, so we sped up time. This is what it looks like. It smelled so good. And now you're going to go ahead and shred it. So just taking 2 forks, I think that's the easiest. You can also use your KitchenAid, pop that in there and it can shred it for you, but I think it's totally fine using 2 forks. So you can see it's super tender. And you can serve this with some tortillas, flour, or corn to make some tacos, or you can put them in like little chicken burrito bowls or put them on nachos. I mean, very versatile, and it just is so tasty. You can see that's what it ended up looking like, and then I did go ahead and add that sauce back in there. It really just helps retain that moisture and just makes reheating a lot easier. Guys, I loved this recipe. You have to try it. So then I'm going to take my large gallon Ziploc freezer bag. I let that chicken cool in the fridge. I just covered it with some foil. That way we're not putting in like piping hot into the plastic bag. I'm just going and scooping that into the Ziploc. I also put in this large container so that it could like hold up the bag. So there's a little hack for you if you're trying to pour a good amount of food into that Ziploc without it toppling over. So go ahead and try and squeeze out any air. And you can see it made a great amount of chicken. And so I just make sure it's flattened out just like that, and it's good to go. Next up is turkey chili. So we're starting off with this organic fresh ground turkey. I got this from Costco. I'm going to take a skillet pan, spray that with some non-stick spray. So this is just organic canola oil, and plopping that ground turkey in there. While that starts to heat up and brown, I'm going to take half of an onion and get that diced up, and we're going to add that in with the turkey as well. So now we're just going to go ahead and break that up and just brown it. So I have it over medium heat. Just going to continue to watch that, and while I do that, I'm going to open up all the canned stuff that we need. So some black beans, kidney beans, some diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, and green chilies. And you'll also need some garlic. You can use fresh. I just used this minced one I had. Of course, salt and pepper, and then garlic powder. And then I also forgot to show chili powder and cumin you'll need as well. And then I always like to add a little bit of brown sugar. I think it balances the spices really well and just adds like a good amount of sweetness. So you can see this is the turkey, a nice golden color. The onions are translucent and fragrant, so just like what I want. Now we're going to move over to the crock pot and add all those canned things that we just listed. So the tomato sauces and the beans and the chilies, all that good stuff, as well as the spices. Again, I will have the amounts linked down below for you. So now I'm going to take that cooked turkey and onion mixture, put that into the crock pot with the other ingredients. Make sure to mix it all really well. And then you're going to cook it on low for about 6 hours. So about 6 hours later, right when it's about to be done, I love corn in my chili, so I just grabbed some of this organic frozen corn and put an eyeballed amount in there, stirred it up, and let it sort of just sit in there for like 5 to 10 more minutes before I took it out of the crock pot. So once the corn was able to get all warmed up in there, then it's time to go ahead and transfer to, yet again, our gallon Ziploc freezer bag. But before we do that, I'm going to put it into this bowl so that way I can cool it in the fridge before putting it in the Ziploc bag, because of course I'm going to be making some more meals with this crock pot in this video. You can see this makes a lot of turkey chili. It filled up that super large bowl and it looks absolutely delicious. So after that was able to be cooled, I did my same method of grabbing that large container to put the Ziploc bag in to hold it upright while I scoop all of that turkey chili in there. And of course here I'm just always labeling my bags for any freezer meals that I make. That way I remember how to reheat it. And again, make sure you squeeze out any of the excess air in the bag and secure it tightly. And then I always like to make sure it's all spread out and flattened before putting in the freezer. And I just find that this helps freeze it evenly. And then we have that all done. Okay, now we have barbecue pulled pork. So you're going to start off with this half butt roast of pork. I think you can use like pork shoulder as well, or pork loin, but I'm just using the pork butt for this, and I'm just going to get that out of all of this packaging here, placing it directly into the crock pot. And now we're going to be basically making like a dry rub situation. So you're going to use salt, pepper, garlic, as well as some onion powder and some paprika, and you're going to put that all into a bowl. As well as a little dash of cayenne pepper as well. So you can see like this, you're going to scoop it all in. I originally thought that you put this whole thing onto the meat. Do not do that. It's basically a mixture that you can use later on. So just sprinkle a little bit to cover the meat, and then you save the rest for later. I'm also taking these additional ingredients here, and we're going to be making our own barbecue sauce. So you can see we have some like apple cider vinegar, some Worcestershire sauce, some more spices, some ketchup, honey, like a lot of yummy stuff. And so I'll have that all linked down below, as well as a little bit of liquid smoke also adds a good amount of flavor. I would definitely use a larger bowl than what I did. I didn't realize it's going to be so much. And I'm just whisking that all together. And then we're going to place that into the crock pot with that meat that we put the dry rub on. And you'll go ahead and cook that on low for 8 hours, so it'll get nice and tender. Just like that, you can see I grabbed my 2 forks, start pulling it apart, and it was just perfectly cooked. And you can see that sauce got nice and thick, And so we're just making sure everything's nice and evenly shredded as much as possible. So again, I'm taking a bowl and transferring all of that into there so that way it can cool off before I store it into the Ziploc bag. So you of course can make some barbecue pork sandwiches with this by putting on some buns. You can also do like some barbecue pork tacos, which are really fun. You can even put it in like some sweet potatoes or baked potatoes. You can be very creative and it's really, really yummy. You can see it made a lot, so you can definitely make a few meals with it. Again, make sure you get all the air out, flatten it all up, and you're good to go to put it in the freezer. Another one done. And now our last recipe, one of my favorites is the chicken ranch veggies. So we're going to use some organic chicken, boneless, skinless breasts, some of the ranch packet seasonings, some carrots, some vegetable broth, as well as some potatoes and butter. So I'm basically going to add that chicken, add the carrots, then we're going to basically quarter up these potatoes. These are the creamer potatoes from Costco and they're so good. And then I'm going to take a good amount of butter, I think it's like 6 tablespoons or something, I'll have it down below. Dice that up and put that on there. You're going to take the whole packet of the ranch seasoning and then a little bit of the vegetable broth, some salt and pepper to taste, and you're going to go ahead and cook that on low for 4 hours. And you can definitely switch it up with different veggies. I just did carrots here with potatoes, but you can also do like some green beans or some sort of other starch like sweet potatoes or something. And I bet that'd be really yummy. So what I'm doing here is removing the potatoes and the carrots first. And that way, when I go and shred the chicken, I don't have all those veggies in the way so they don't get all mushy. So getting the potatoes on the bottom, then scooping out the carrots, and then with the chicken and the buttery sauce, I'm going to leave that in there, shred it with the forks, and then add that to a separate bag. Put that bag in this bag. That way, when you serve it, you can just do a serving of the chicken and a serving of the side veggies. And I just thought this was making it very simple for reheating. And we just ate it just like this, like in a bowl form, but you can also serve it over some rice or like some noodles, whatever you'd like. It was really, really tasty. Make sure you save all of that buttery sauce and get that into the bag, because again, when you have some extra sauce in there, it just makes reheating way easier and your meat tends to be less dry and more juicy. So you can see I have that smaller bag of chicken. I'm literally going to place it directly into the other bag of veggies. That way I know that they go together, and then I can reheat them just by scooping a serving of the meat and a serving of the vegetables, and I just find it to be easier that way. And it was so, so yummy. And that is our final meal.
Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed this. I got so many meals done, so delicious. I cannot wait to eat them all, and they fit really great in my freezer. So win-win for me. Again, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and follow me on Instagram. It's just live by Devyn. And make sure to stay tuned because I'll have more of these videos coming your way. But other than that, thank you guys again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.